Hello, hi, my name is Neville Douglas. If this is your first time to the channel, then thank you for coming along and watching. What we do on this site is building pathology, refurbishments, things like that. And so if you want to know more about the kind of stuff that I'm going to be doing in the next few months, or if you want to peruse through the previous library, then by all means subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and be sure to receive any further updates. So with that said, roll the intro. So this is going to be the beginning of the video, even though it's shot backwards, if you know what I mean. Anyway, the point is we're going to be sorting out the balcony here. We're going to have builders coming tomorrow. They're going to be working through taking all of this real estate up. There is a plywood layer underneath. Sorry about beating a little bit. Plywood layer underneath. They're going to take all of that up, and then they are going to lay another base layer down. I don't know the stuff they're going to be using, but it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be using. And then we are going to film the whole process, putting the membrane down, plywood down first, then the membrane, then these slabs back on top, and sealing the whole lot off. Obviously, as we go along, hopefully there'll be no issues. It should take less than a week, so I'll be filming this process as we go through it. I filmed some bits where I've already cut the mesh. Well, it's not a mesh really, it's a flooring system that goes on top, and then the flags go on top of that as well, so that will ensure that there's drainage underneath the flags. Okay, so to give a little bit of context, the builders were on site early this morning, and so they've already moved the flags from the left hand side and are starting to take things from the middle and from the end. So we've missed that bit, but you know, there is nothing much more to say. They're just removing the initial layers before we get onto the membrane. Yeah, like I said, in regards to the issue that we've got with the balcony, which is down there, all that stone needs to be cleaned, and the drain over there is okay. I put a jet wash in there, so I know that's sorted out. So it's a matter of putting the flooring system back in. Everybody else is telling me to grout it, but I don't think it's a good idea, especially when you've got a membrane. So I'll be looking at getting the flooring system, putting that down, putting these back down, just experimenting with the silicone, maybe sticking it to this flooring system. But if it just sits on the flooring system, then that's great. What we're trying to not do is to penetrate or make any more leaks in this. There's a leak on the inside. I don't think that, when I say a leak, water ingress, I think it was more to do with the boundaries along here were getting full, not the boundaries. Can't find my words today, but anyway, the level here was so high in regards to all of the leaf matter, and the drains were backing up, so all of that was backing up and coming up, and I think it was entering around here somewhere. So I'm just gonna a slight tear in the fabric, or a penetration or a puncture or something like that. But I think once we put this system down on here and then we put the flags on top of it, I think that's going to solve the problem, because it's got 14 millimeters. There is enough space so that it comes in under the window there, which is the plinth, so it's still going to give us enough movement, but the water's going to go through the stone, which is that area. Let me just come back up here. Yes, it's going to go through the stone, but obviously it's going to go through the flooring system as well, so we're not. Okay, so at this point I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation of what is going on. They are taking off all of the flags, as I said before. The little circles that you can see are the way that the previous builder decided to fix the flags to what is known as a fiberglass membrane which was there. That had failed over time. It had been there for like 20 years, and they'd put gravel right by the edge that you can see there, so the water was draining into that. That said, due to the trees which were quite close to the building, we had a lot of leaf matter, and you can see them there sweeping up that leaf matter, which then broke down, turned into soil, as leaves do, created a compost, and then on top of that compost you had moss which was forming as well, and so that was slowing down the flow of water as well. Having said that, the membrane had deteriorated, so it wasn't as though the water was coming up the plinth and overflowing. It was due to the fact that there was breakage in the membrane, and this will be later shown in the videos which are going to follow this, where that gent is standing, or was standing, with the short sleeve t-shirt. You can see him there bending over. They're going to cut into a section in there and expose where the water ingress is. Okay, so at this point I've decided to give the balcony a bit of a clean over. You can see when they were sweeping up all of the leaf matter which had turned into mud, how messy it was going to be. And so, you know, rather than let them walk it into the house, I've got a Karcher cleaner. That's the condition that it was in, or is in. We're going to put it into that bucket over there, and then it's going to be washed. That bucket's got holes in it, so all of this gravel which is in all of these buckets is going to be cleaned, and eventually these are going to be jet washed as well. I'm just going to show you the outside. This is I've got a jet wash with me actually, so I'm just going to get it all jet washed now. So this is the condition of the balcony. Now everything's being removed. Sorry about the noise. And I'm just going to give this a bit of a jet wash. It's quite roomy now actually. And yeah, they're just doing the gardens at the back, so apologies for that. So I'm going to crack on with this and get it jet washed. Right, what I would say is, in regards to maintenance of the balcony, just if you have a balcony like this, just ensure that you keep it clean, remove any leaf matter, and keep any drains clear as well. If you do get a problem, you might find it harder to claim from the insurance. They will try and say that it's down to poor workmanship. My reply to that was to get them to prove it, which they couldn't. No one had been on site to have a look. And so eventually when someone did come out, they still weren't conclusive about why the balcony was leaking, even though they tried to say it was down to workmanship again. Actually, it's more down to failure of material over a longer period of time. That said, that still doesn't guarantee that they're going to pay your claim. Hey, so we've managed to get everything out, and the balcony's clear now, as you can see. I'll step aside. So that's what it's like walking all the way around. Looks huge now, doesn't it? So the next step is we're going to put the matting down, which is going to, there we go. So those bits there are going to start to go down. I'll get the correct name of this stuff. They've messing about. Hey, so this is called garden tiles. There we go. We've got the stone which goes around the edge, so I've just got to cut some more of these to go around the edge. That's the other bits of stone, and what I've got outside is a bucket with a hole in the bottom of it with a clean stone in. So I've made holes in the bottom of that bucket so it will drain out, and then I'm going to put the clean stone in there, rinse and repeat until all of the stone is cleared. So that's going to be quite a long video, but it won't be really, because it's going to be brought to you by the miracle of time-lapse. So I'm going to charge this up a little bit and then I'm going to crack on. Alright, so now the next step is to clean all of the gravel in this bucket. So we're going to be jet washing it. This one bucket's got a hole in it going into that one there. Do that, give it a shake, turn it over, give it another shake, turn it over, and then put it into this bucket here. So as you're going to be able to see in a minute, I stick a brick underneath the bucket so that it allows the water to drain freely and to run away. I was previously just doing it on the deck and it was not clearing as quickly, so I wouldn't say it's a pro tip or anything else like that, it just helps. Also remember to wear some goggles. Just in case you wonder would save you all that trouble. As you can see, we are 3 stories up and it's a long way to go down to the skip. Also, when you think about it from an environmental perspective, it's not a really good practice really to be throwing things away. We did do this once where we weren't sure as what to do, and so we ended up carrying buckets of this stuff down the stairs, throwing it away, only to realise I came up with this solution at a later date, and it comes up pretty well. A lot of the stuff that you can see, all the mud, that's basically come from years of leaf matter falling onto the balcony and basically decomposing. I've calibrated the roof wall scanner and I found a dry, which I think is a dry part on the roof, so I'm just going to move around a little bit to see if it shows any water ingress. Some of these bits are bubbling a little bit, so it feels like there's something there. So let's just have a look, keeping away from the puddle. Go to this high part here. You see that? I push that firmly down, showing a high reading, but it is springy on that bit anyway, so it does confirm that. The good thing to do would be to put it, this is another dry area, It's going to be interesting once they lift the membrane tomorrow, just to see. This is the problem area that we've been having. Now you can see it there. Okay, so this is quite close to a bit of moisture there, so I'm going to move that a little bit. And then this area here, that's showing up dry. If we were to put a dry flag on there, or concrete pad or paving flag or whatever you want to call it, 300 by 300, should be able to get a good idea.